Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toppy Bluecast. We are live on Twitter, X, whatever you call it now. We are also live on YouTube for the big Fulham v Everton pre-match talk tonight. I have on the show with me Paul. We do a duet. We host it every show. We're partners in crime. And we have also got an opposition fan on. We've had him on before in his class. We've managed to reel him in and get him on again to give you the best pre-match show we could probably put together, because when you get the opposition fan on, it does spice it up, doesn't it, Paul? It's a lot better.
It is, yeah. And he's a good one. I know. It's always good to go head-to-head with Russ.
Well, it's mad because one of our best guests that we had on the show, Russ, actually helped us get him on, Begovic, so... We do like Russ. We do. We do like him. Right, let's give him a bit of music then. What have we got? Let's give him some entrance music. And in the building, we have Russell Goldmer. How are we doing, Russell? You all right?
I'm doing great. It's always just a blast doing the show with you guys. I really enjoy it, and I always like going head to head against Paul, so it'll be fun.
It will be fun. I did slip a Wobie on the cover as well, just to get it spicy before we even start. You have to do these things, people.
I am going to mention a Wobie a few times, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I am ready for it. I have got the boxing gloves somewhere in the house.
Okay.
What? People in the comments, I can see you coming on now. Numbers are going up. 50 on. They've clicked on anyway. If you can get involved in the comments, what we do if you're new, by the way, hit that like and subscribe. Do it early. I'll say this early because we want to come off and we want loads of likes and new subscribers. That's the aim of the game. But what we do is we'll talk about both teams. We'll chuck stuff up on the screen because we're good like that to give a better image of stuff. Then we'll put Russ's lineup on the screen, his Fulham lineup that he wants. We'll do our lineup that we want on the screen. And when we do our lineup, we want you to have your lineup ready and we'll put it on the screen and we'll read it out. Yes, we're going to read your lineup out for you. And then we finish with score predictions. So it's all fun. Please get involved. You might as well do so. Let's do this then. Should we chuck it on Russ first? And how are you feeling, Russ, as a Fulham fan right now?
Very nervous. I'll just put it to you this way. This match, there is so much pressure on my club right now because they are slipping a little bit. There are 4 clubs looking probably for one spot for 8th. We're now currently 11th because we've dropped points. We actually lost to Aston Villa. So this match is massive. Fulham are still fighting for Europe. So for them to get into Europe, or at least continue trying to get into Europe, they have to win against Everton. And it's not going to be easy. You know, I have much respect for your club, much respect for your manager and your entire team. I know it's going to be difficult. So I'm not going to lie. I'm nervous going into it because there's a lot of pressure. And what has been interesting about Fulham's season, and I just did a show yesterday, guys, I called it the box of chocolate season for Fulham, you know, from Forrest Gump, because you never know what you're going to get when it comes to this team. We can beat Liverpool. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You can thank me for that, beating Liverpool. Then we can beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And then we could just lose, drop points against teams below us. It's been happening all season. So just when we think we figured them out, we haven't. And that's what makes these last 3 matches just nervous time for Fulham fans, but also I just don't know what's going to happen. But there's a lot of pressure on this team.
So we've got nothing at stake.
You've got nothing. We've got everything. Yeah.
And you are in the mix for what we would have. At one point, Russ, we were starting to think that 10th, when word was going around 10th place could get Europa League conference, we was trying to push for that, but unfortunately it was too many draws and our form dipped a little bit from what it was when David Moyes first come in. I mean, David, I'm going to put it on you straight away. We all read stuff on X. We don't know whether it's bull crap. We don't know whether it's true. Often it's bull crap. Is your manager going to Saudi?
No, that's
Have you
not
seen
going to
that?
happen.
Have you
I
seen
I,
it?
ha- I have seen it, and I can talk a little bit about that because there's been a lot of talk, and I actually looked into it myself, and I have my own source and sources, and I'm just telling you right now, the one thing that I knew when I started hearing the links to Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, the way it was linked was, well, if they don't get their first choice, they're going to go for Marco Silva. And he's already agreed to it. It just didn't sound right, honestly. And 2 seasons ago, Marco had a chance to go to Saudi Arabia. He absolutely did. And I don't know if I told this story, but I'll share it with you guys on this show. I might have. I don't know if I did. But I was actually in Philadelphia over the summer at the summer series for the Premier League. And I was actually at an event hosted by the club, Fulham Football Club. And I asked one of someone that actually is affiliated with Fulham Football Club. There was rumors that Shah Khan was going to be at this event that I was at. And I said, well, is he going to be here? He's like, nope, he's actually having dinner meeting with Marco right now. I'm like, oh, okay. And then the next day, that was the ending of the rumors to Saudi Arabia. It died that night. So I don't know anything this time around, except that I know that Marco Silva wants to be in the Premier League. He's made that perfectly clear. This is where he wants to be. The other thing that I'll mention is that his job at Fulham is not done because he's built something, and I truly believe he wants to see his vision come to fruition. It just hasn't happened yet. We keep getting closer. So if you're asking me, he's got 1 year left on his contract. I don't see him going to Saudi Arabia at all. The only job that scares me a little bit is the Tottenham job.
Yeah, I think the Premier League's I just find it mad that anyone would go to Saudi, but some do surprise you. Some even players. I was really surprised that Tony went to Saudi, but I can't see it happening. The Premier League's miles better than that league as a manager, and when he's doing well in it, and his job isn't at stake or anything like that, I think he'll be. I can't see. I thought ball crap straight away on that one. Our players have. Well, I did say that we haven't got nothing to play for, and Mark Doyle, I like this comment. He says our players have got their futures at Bramley-Moore Dock to play for. In my opinion,
that's
boys
true.
won't let them forget that, and I think that's a good comment. To be fair.
That's true. That's actually a good point. But from our perspective, like you said, I think it's different levels here. The players certainly have something to play for. And honestly, obviously, the supporters want you to end well. And so there is something to play for. It's just that right now for us, there's just a lot of pressure on this match. I can't get past that.
Yes, it is an interesting one. Paul, have you got some stuff to chuck on the screen? I'm going to let you take over now. What have you got for us then before we do our lineup predictions?
Yeah, so we've got a bit of form off the two sides. We'll start with Fulham first. And that's what we are from beginning of March. You can see there's the Man United game at the bottom there, where I went to where it was 2-1 in the end. So generally, as you say, up and down, Russ.
Yeah.
2 losses a win, 2 losses a win. And let's hope that trend continues the way it's going. But what do you think of that?
Well, I think it just epitomizes our season. If you even look, you can look at any part of the season. When we were halfway through the season, Fulham were on pace to get 59 points. And right now, they're kind of in that same ballpark where they could, if they win the last 3 matches, they would exceed that. But they're kind of where that they should be. And that, to me, just shows that no matter how good the season has been, and in so many ways it's been good. That's why I did the show last night. There's the other side. It's just they're consistently inconsistent. It's the best way to put it. Whenever I have counted them out, they have pulled off a massive victory, like beating Liverpool, like beating Chelsea out of nowhere. Beating Manchester United in the Cup was a massive victory for Fulham Football Club. But then I can just point to dropping so many points against Ipswich Town, Southampton of all teams. I mean,
Palace game. Oh,
the Palace game, they were horrific against Palace. Twice horrific against Palace. So that's what blows me away. When I saw you guys play Palace, that actually gave me hope. And there was false hope because Palace were by far the better team. But it goes to the point where I just don't know exactly what I'm going to get from my club because they're good enough to be in Europe. In my opinion, they would have to strengthen. But at times, they are just extremely inconsistent. And the one thing about it is that they can be resilient at times, but they can also, I hate to say it, sometimes Marco gets it wrong. And when Marco gets it wrong, things go bad. And, that happened against Chelsea. It totally happened against Chelsea. Fulham were in complete control in the first half. And I want to give credit to the Chelsea manager. He made changes that changed the match, and Marco couldn't change it back. And that, to me, was what we're seeing a lot with this Fulham side is that just when you think that they've figured it out, they really haven't. And just when you've counted them out, they're back in. I almost feel like it's Godfather 3 every single week with Fulham Football Club. They keep dragging me back in, guys.
Yeah, Russ is just about to have a big kickoff and say, right, they're getting it now. They've been crap 2 games, then boom, they're going to smash them one and pull him back in. Pull him back in.
Exactly.
We're similar to yourselves, but it's not usually 2 losses and a win for us. It tends to be 6 wins, 6 defeats, 6 wins, 6 defeats, or something stupid like that. I mean, I'll show you the table to sort of just show what you were talking about being close enough. I mean, the talk obviously was the top 11 could get into Europe in some capacity. But if you look at the 3 teams, probably Villa's a step obviously too far
that's
now.
too far.
But out of you, Brighton, Brentford and Bournemouth, it's up for grabs, I reckon.
It is, and that's what makes this situation so difficult, especially with Brentford now jumping ahead of us. That really irritates the crap out of me, to be honest with you. And after we play you, we play them at their place. So that's going to be a lot of pressure. And we end the city playing at Craven Cottage against Man City in Kevin De Bruyne's last match. So that'll be interesting in itself. So Fulham are going to be ending with 3 very tough matches. I'm including this match. Like I said, I have a lot of respect for your team, and I know it's not going to be easy tomorrow. I know it's not.
You've got the thing is you're on catch up as well because they are on 3 points more than you, so you've got to literally beat us just to put you in the mix, and then still crack on because they've got the little advantage of the 3 points on you. So, like I say, this game's massive, and I can see why you're saying it because who wouldn't want the chance to get into that? Because you never know what's going to happen. We've seen West Ham do it. I think West Ham, you never would have thought they would have won it with David Moyes. So if you can get in those competitions, some players they will turn up for that competition. So I wouldn't mind you getting it, but unfortunately we need to win as well. So
I know, guys.
I'm not going to let you have it. So
that's our little group of the table, isn't it? Moyes has been saying 13th is the best we can get. We've got to topple Wolves and keep Spurs and United, who are in a European final below us. It's been a weird season.
I will say one thing, guys, before we break down the match that involves what we've been talking about in regards to your side. So we expect Everton to bounce back big time. If not next season or the season after that, you're moving to a new location. And come on, there is going to be a bounce for you with that. There's going to be more money flushed into Everton. So you might be down right now. This has been a down few seasons, but I think you're ready to go back up again. That's just my opinion on that.
This is probably the most positive we've been in the last 4 or 5 years, at least.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
We don't have to panic about the last game of the season for once. It's nice to enjoy, especially this season being the last of good, to just enjoy that that occasion, because if we were still in a relegation battle at this point, it just would have been sickening. Absolutely,
it felt
sickening.
like it for me. It felt like we knew Bramley-Moore Dock was going to be done in say 2-3 years' time.
Yeah,
and we knew we was going to go through absolute hell through those 2-3 years until we got in Bramley-Moore Dock, because we knew we had an owner that was bad financially. We knew he was in a financial mess, and all as Everton fans probably, well, I know a lot of the Everton fans I was talking to, all we said is, get yourself into that stadium in the Premier League with the good new owners. That's the light at the end of the tunnel. And we've been through the wars, honestly. And finally, we feel like we're at the light at the end of the tunnel. And now we just don't know what the light's going to be. Like you just said, Russ, and they've told us we've had transfer windows where we've been having to sell our best players and not spend. But now they're saying we can spend. We've got this beautiful new stadium. Players will probably want to come to us to play. So it's really exciting.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's really exciting, Russ. I'm really excited for next season. Actually, I really am. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, and honestly, you guys really should be, because you are on the up, and that's why, for us, like I said, if you're standing still in the Premier League, you're going to fall back. So Fulham have to continue to improve. That's why I truly believe Marco is going to stay, because I think he wants to see this project all the way through. And and honestly, it's not where he wants it to be yet. So with your side, now I'm expecting big things next season, and so many other teams on the way up. I mean, Manchester United can't be that bad again, can they? Well, maybe they can. That's possible. Tottenham, yeah, maybe they can be bad again, but probably not, right? So, and then you're going to be in the mix, and then 3 teams coming up. We'll see what happens with Leeds United. I'm going to say it right now. I don't expect big things from them, but who knows? But
I was just going to say, I thought you had a really powerful transfer window last week. I would say that was probably one of the Fulham's best ever transfer windows in a long time, and I expect us to be a little bit like that, because when you signed all the players you signed, like you signed Berg, you signed Smith Rowe, you got a centre back, you got a winger, a really powerful window, and that made a statement. I knew you was going to be decent this season after that window. You could just tell straight away on paper you had a good team. So I'm hoping for that with us, because you never know where it will get you.
What I was saying before about Fulham losing 2 games, winning 1.
Yep.
We tend to draw all 3. So just having a quick look at
all 10
our games over the last couple of months, 2 or 3. And there's plenty of amber in there, isn't there? I mean, it was up for grabs, a few of them, but a little bit disappointed with a couple of the losses, but they were against City, Liverpool, and Chelsea away. So, it's not out of the realms of possibility, but a cracking win away at Forest.
I was just going to say to you, Russ, just like when David Moyes first. I mean, obviously we had a manager change. David Moyes come, we was unbeaten in 10, and we was winning games. Now we started drawing a couple, but one thing I will say, the draws look bad, but it's not like Sean Dyche draws. The difference is, I think when we've been drawing, we've actually been scoring goals, and it's been unlucky on a lot of them. So you see draws and you think we can't win. That's not been the case. It's generally we've been really unlucky, like really, really, really unlucky on some of those draws. But we have found where you said, Russ, you win one, and then you lose one, you win one, you lose one. As you've seen, we have found consistency, but we just haven't had that consistency of winning. That's the thing.
Well, that win that we had against Forest there as well. I mean, that cancels out the 3 defeats. So, I mean, it's the equivalent of 1 point every game from those. I mean, it's bizarre, but that's us all over, isn't it?
We are picking up. David Moyes is just getting a little bit of results now that ain't going his way a little bit. Do you feel like that, Paul? It's not been that. Ipswich wasn't nice because we was 2-0 up. We're really bad when we go 2-0 up. Really, really bad when we go 2-0 up. I think I'd rather go 2-0 down than 2-0 up, because if we go 2-0 up, we lose 3-2 every bloody time. You can guarantee. Yeah,
well, if you're grabbing a last second equaliser to make it 2-2, it feels like a win, if you know what I mean. Obviously, if you're 2-0 up and then chuck it away like we've done at least 3 times this season, then it's a bit gutting and everyone's down. But we're getting a point a game at the moment, and with 3 games left, be interesting. It could well be the same again, to be honest. 2 away games and the Southampton game. So I just want us to, I think we are as well. I think generally we're playing well. I thought we played well against Ipswich, but it's just a couple of weak moments and a couple of weak finishes, which have meant that we've not actually got the 3 points. So, but there are positives. It's not like we're not getting any shots on goal. And that's what we were like in December and January, to absolutely bizarre, ridiculous scale. So it's certainly more positive than it was before. I'm just going to throw up how we've kind of gone against each other, Russ, lately, on the last few years anyway. This was the game in, where are we, October, where we managed the 1-1. And it's been a bit of a mixed bag. Sort of going, you've had a good run on us,
Yeah,
to be honest, haven't you?
especially at Goodison Park, which is strange, right?
Yeah,
That we actually have played better. For years. It was a graveyard for Fulham, but recently, I think really under Silva, it actually changed. So it's been good. But like I said, playing your side and playing a Moyes team always gives me issues to think about, just because you guys mentioned the difference between Deitch and Moyes, and both of them have defensive ideas of how to play, but Moyes is not Deitch at all. In fact, like I said, Moyes is someone that I think will make things difficult on Fulham. He always has. So I know it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be different than Deitch. It's going to be completely different than Deitch. I know it.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
No, it is a massive game, man. It's good to have someone on the show that's got so much to play for. It makes me feel a bit gutted that I haven't got the pump that Russ has got tonight. I'm gutted that we ain't pushing for that place, because I know how much it would mean to you to get that spot. I don't blame you. I wish we were pushing for that now. I'm jealous a little bit. Next season, I'm telling you, we're going for it.
I'm telling you, I'm going to make a prediction right now. You're going to be pushing for Europe next season. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say that.
Well, I know.
I believe it.
Teams with new stadiums, though, it's the mixed bag. We've seen a lot of new ones. I think ours is a slightly different build.
Yeah.
To the kind of the generic kind of Southampton type stadium, you know, and West Ham's miles away from the actual pitch as well. Someone posted a picture. Is it the worst away section in the Premier League? Just because it's so far away. It's so far away. Wow. It's ridiculous. But Pawsey just asking there, Russ, if your stand finished at Craven Cottage, have you been doing a bit of
that's an interesting question. So the majority of the seats are available, but it looks like not to full capacity yet. I should say it probably is at full capacity, but behind is where they're still doing a lot of work on it. So it's not completed yet. It's not. They're building some restaurants. There's going to be a hotel that's going to be part of that Riverside stand. So to answer your question, it's not done yet. It's not done yet. The most of the seats are that part's pretty much done. They're also adding a pool that you might have heard about. There's going to be a pool up there too. So, you know, which is effing ridiculous that there's going to be a pool there, but there's going to be a pool.
You are Fulham are just so London. That's right. They're so London.
I mean, it plays to the stereotype of Fulham supporters, you know, that we're going to have a pool, you know. So, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Football is going absolutely
crazy. Okay. The stand thing is ridiculous that it's taken this long to build it. They had a problem with the builder during the pandemic, and it's been a nightmare. It has truly been a nightmare. What you guys have done compared to what we've done is just a joke, but it looks like it's finally going to be completed. But yes, I want to say at least 5 years in the making. How about that?
So in the time that Fulham have had to build a little stand, we've built a whole stadium from a cone.
I know.
How about that?
I know.
It all started from a cone.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, I can't stand that Michael Jackson statue. I have seen it back in 2012, and it's no longer there. So it's no longer there.
Yeah. No, I think it might be in the National Football Museum, to be honest, which is a hell of a thing. I mean, a picture taken with that.
It is one of the ugliest statues you'd ever want to see in person. It is.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Right, it is time for that. It is time to have a little bit of a clash now. So we've had the little, how are you doing? Oh, you're playing all right. How are we doing? We're playing all right. But now let's get into it. Let's have a look at the players. Let's go a little bit more head to head, people. If there is a Fulham fan in the comments, sometimes we do get fans that come along with the guest. Give us your lineup. This is going to be Russ's lineup, so do give us your lineup. And Everton fans, have your lineup ready, because after we've done the Fulham lineup, me and Paul are going to do a joint one, and we'll put yours on the screen. So you type it up, we'll read it out, and we'll say what we think on it, and then we'll finish with score predictions. So get them in, people. It's a mission to type them up, but we do like to see them. Right, let's have a look at what Russ has done. Manager Russ. All right, here we go. Do you know, did you have me on? Do you know with Robertson?
What was that?
What did you type as for Robinson?
Oh, Jedi.
Yeah, well, I was searching Jedi, and I was typing Jedi in and thinking, who the heck is Jedi for Fulham? Is Robinson out? And I was thinking, Robinson's got to be injured. And then I typed in Google saying, who is Jedi for Fulham? And it came up with Robinson. So then I knew who Jedi was, Russ. So it was a funny story to myself. I was laughing. You got me without me even knowing.
Okay. So I'm going with Leno. Tete is the right back. Anderson and Bassi, who's probably up for Fulham's player this season. He's been excellent, Calvin Bassi. And then Jedi, Anthony Robinson is your left back. This is where it gets interesting. Essentially, unfortunately, Sasa Lukic is out for the match. He's injured. So the question will be, what will Marco do here? He will play Sanderberger. He's more your number 6. I have a feeling that Andreas Pereira will come back in. They tried this at the beginning of the season for a good part of the first half of the season. Pereira playing the 8. It's not ideal, but I expect him to be there. I do expect him to start Emile Smith-Rowe as the number 10. This is what I would do. He could change it a little bit, but Sessegnon will be on the left and will be on the right, but they can change. They change throughout the match. So the wingers will be moving sides probably throughout the match to try to get mismatches, and then Jimenez will be up front. The one thing that could happen that Marco might do instead of what I'm going with, he might take out either Pereira or Smith-Rowe and put Iwobi central, and then you have another winger, such as maybe Willian or Traore. He might do that because Iwobi played central in the last match. I know how much you love Iwobi, but he's going to be involved somehow in this match.
Well, you just mentioned that, and I'm playing around with it as you're talking. And the options that you've just given on your lineup, and you said you could go 2 different ways, obviously. I've just moved it as, at first, you've gone, say, we've moved Iwobi back to the wing. At first, you've gone Pereira central with an Iwobi on the wing.
Yep.
This is who you're worried about, whether Pereira can play that centre midfield job, isn't it? That he's done before, but not often. Yes. Do you think Iwobi would be better in that possession, as you just mentioned, in the centre, and Pereira? What's Pereira like as a winger? Sorry.
No, he's not really a player that I would think that he would do that. The only other thing, and again, there are a lot of situations that Marco's going to play with. One of the things, if he wants to put Pereira in the 10, which he could do, then he could put Iwobi in the 8. So and then take Smith-Rowe out. There are a lot of different combinations he can play around with. That's what Iwobi does for Fulham, and Iwobi gives Fulham this flexibility because he can play central and he can play out wide. So, but I will tell you guys, the player to really watch out in this match from an Everton perspective is Ryan Sessegnon. Ryan Sessegnon has been getting into incredible form lately, scoring goals. He's very dangerous. He has a nose for the goal. He's not the quickest player in the world. He's not going to blow by anyone, but he's going to beat you with his brain, and he's going to be around the net, and he's going to put it in the back of the net. That's just his game. He's a very smart, heady player. and he's really given Fulham a lift. So for me, the player to watch out for is Ryan Sessegnon.
With what you're saying, I mean, I do go on another podcast, just Premier League podcast, and the talk of the podcast is often this left back here, and they say he's one of the best left backs in the Premier League. So that makes you really strong down the left, doesn't it? If you're saying you've got a strong left winger in front of him as well.
Yeah, the one thing that I'll mention about Robinson that you guys might not be aware of, he's been dealing with an injury probably for several months, and he's been playing through it. They've rested him recently, and it's pretty obvious to Fulham supporters he's not the same player right now. So he's gutting it out for the rest of the season, it looks like. So Jedi, Anthony Robinson, is probably not what you might have seen at the beginning of the season. So that's an issue for us. But Ryan Sessegnon can play left back as well. But I'm telling you, the way that he plays, he's more dangerous as a winger, much more dangerous.
Paul, what's your thoughts on this lineup, Paul?
Good, quick, youthful. Smith Rowe has his moment. Pereira's class on the ball, and obviously it's 3 against Liverpool. You're not sort of seeing Fulham scoring a ton of goals. They've been very close. I think they have plenty of shots on goal, who aren't as decisive as maybe they want to be, and that might be partly down to Jimenez not being as prolific as they open to be. Even though Iwobi's done great at Fulham, I still think that he's got a problem with end product and stuff like that. So it's just little tweaks, and you kind of Fulham players do go through a bit of a purple patch. Iwobi will go through like a 2 or 3 game purple patch and get an assist, maybe a goal, stuff like that. Sessegnon, same sort of thing, like Russ is saying. Jimenez might score 2 in a game, but then might not score for a little while after that. So it's just they're the symptoms of just being inconsistent, which we've found ourselves plenty of times. So as a team, as a setup, they're decent. Otherwise, they wouldn't be as high as they are and within a chance of getting sort of top 8 and things like that. They have got some beasts at the back. Like you say, Bassey's he's certainly he's a wide chap. You wouldn't get past him easy. And Leno's had a decent season in goal.
Leno's been very good, Paul. Leno, actually, we were just talking about it on the prior show as a potential player this season. So he's actually been excellent. A player that if I was Everton that I'd be targeting that has been the weak link right now for Fulham Football Club is Joachim Andersen. I would be targeting him. I would totally be targeting him because you can beat him for pace. You can really hurt Fulham, and Ollie Watkins did a number on him last week. So for me, he's the player that if I was David Moyes, I'd be trying to find a way to take advantage of him.
You know what? It's funny. It's funny you say that because I've watched you a couple of times. It's interesting because it's like when you've had really good results against the better teams, against the really good teams. Do you play switch off when you play the weak teams? You mentioned Southampton. There's Ipswich. Do you play? They're not up for it against the weaker teams, and they just rise against the better teams. That's an interesting question. Well, also, I watched you. I can't remember what game it was. I watched Russ, but Bassey was really good. Like he was on it.
Oh, he's coming on.
Dan. He was strong and fast. You can't run past him. Can't remember who it was. There was some really fast players up against him, and he thrived basically. And I was just going to say, Russ, I was going to say, what do you think your weaknesses? And you said Anderson. It's exactly what I'm looking at because I can remember. He might be world class against us. It's what normally happens. He'll probably score an header. But I can remember him against Fulham when we had that comeback against Fulham. Anderson, we can do Anderson. I feel that Beto could cause some problems against Anderson. I say to Beto, don't come up against Bassey because Bassey he'll go strength to strength against you. Do you know what I mean? But Anderson, I definitely get it.
The other weakness that I would really focus on, we were just focusing on a prior show, is set piece issues that Fulham have with zonal marking because they do zonal marking and they've been taken advantage of happened against Aston Villa. It's happened throughout the season. So you can take advantage of them on corners and set pieces.
But don't worry, mate, because we don't know how to cross the ball.
I know you don't.
We've got a new set piece coach that's a Liverpool player that's just literally, I think he's saying, don't get across in the box or don't, because we was really good at. The only good thing about Sean Dyche was that our corners were actually quite decent, and we've got a new set piece coach. I was calling him Danny Drinkwater. I corrected myself. It's Charlie Adams. I don't know why he looked the same. But no, our set piece have been diabolical. And hopefully we sort it out, Russ, because you've just said it's a weakness and we have some giants, like absolute giants. So if we can actually put the ball in the right place and you're not good at defending set pieces, we could be a major threat, but we haven't been doing that, which has made me want to rip my eyeballs out watching the game. So that'll be an interesting part of the game.
It's so frustrating, isn't it? It's so frustrating that.
It is, because you've got Jake O'Brien, 6'6" in the box. Beto, the ball, 6 foot, probably 4 in the box. You've got Branthwaite, 6'6" in the box. You've got other lads that are quite tall as well. In the, don't get me started on that, people. Right, so me and Paul are going to do. That was Russ's lineup. We spoke about it. We went through it. We're going to do our Everton lineup now. Me and Paul will do a joint one. We'll put your Everton lineups on the screen, and then we'll finish with score predictions. Have you got it there, Paul, or do you want me to chuck it on?
No, I've got I've just got a lineup builder on now, so I'll just put that in.
Let's do a joint one. See if we can agree on a lineup without falling out. We normally do, to be fair.
I'm sure we can. Usual formation, Pickford in goal. Listening to the press conference, he didn't say anything different about anyone in terms of injuries and things like that, did he? So we presume everyone that we know about is fit, but the likes of Tarkowski and a couple of the loanees are the ones who are injured. I think everyone else is fit. So are we thinking Mikalenko for left back?
Yeah, he's been fantastic. Mikalenko he's been really good under David Moyes. David Moyes, I think Sean Dyche said to Mikalenko, stay back, and David Moyes has said, do what you want. Believe in yourself, and that's a difference.
Branthwaite, I'd imagine, is going to be right next to him.
And obviously, this is a new partnership, Branthwaite and O'Brien, which I don't mind. I do miss Tarkowski because I did like O'Brien right back because I think O'Brien's better than any right back we've got, but he is a centre back. So he has saved us. He's a good centre back, hasn't he, Paul, coming into that position?
Yeah, well, the only thing that was going to stop that from happening was Moyes, and I'd expect David realised his mistake when he brought Keane on. To be honest, I'd be surprised, be disappointed. Not just surprised, I'd be disappointed if we went back to that kind of situation, because O'Brien and Branthwaite are just twin towers. They're absolutely solid, right? They are really good. So it just makes sense. There's debates on who should be right back. I mean, Patterson obviously has stepped in. Is that going to be the same? I would imagine it would be, really. The way against
I would go Ashley Young right back because I haven't been that impressed with Patterson, which is, do you know what? It's really bad because no one wanted Patterson to succeed more than me, but he's had 2 games and sometimes you've got to hold your hands up where you've been calling out for a player to play and you wonder why they're not playing him and he hasn't. Then you realise why he hasn't been playing. And I think that's what's happened with Patterson. I feel that when our last game, when Ashley Young come on for Patterson, the experience showed massively. And I think Patterson, because he's young, because he's not settled in and he's not stamped his ground at Everton, I think he's a bit scared of doing stuff. And I don't know. What are you thinking, Paul? Should we go Patterson or Ashley Young?
I'd be surprised if Patterson didn't start.
Could it be Coleman? No, it won't be Coleman, will it?
I would love it. I'd love it to be Seamus, but I think he'll be saved for the Southampton game.
Yeah, I do as well, just in case he gets injured. Yeah,
that's the one that he's got to be involved in somewhere. You would hope. So you can't sort of play him against Fulham when you've not played him at all. For him then to get injured and then miss the Southampton game, that would be the most Everton thing of all things. So Scar's right. Well, maybe start, but certainly be involved. I don't think he needs to be involved away against Fulham. So I'm happy with either. I think Patterson would start ahead of Ashley Young, but I can see the argument for both.
Let's go Patterson then, because I'm 50-50, so I'm happy to go with what you first said. Let's go Patterson right back. Hopefully he has a good game. I'm writing him off, and I'm probably too early. I don't know. I hope he proves me wrong, because I want him to succeed. I just don't. I feel like we've got to be strong against Fulham. Fulham are a really good team, by the way. I think getting a battering is not fair on our fans travelling away, so we've got to strengthen up here. In the centre, is it written? Is it James Garner and Garner Gapel?
I don't think it really is nailed on.
No.
To be honest, I mean, there's plenty. I mean, I think we liked. I was so pleased that it was Ndai, Alcaraz, McNeil combination. I think that's one to stick with because I think that could benefit us. Will he go the same with us being away? You know, we were home against Ipswich. You'd imagine Decore probably be involved unless Moyes is really not happy behind the scenes with him. And obviously Decore's done a couple of interviews this week, hasn't he? Which has ruffled a few feathers, shall we say, between some Everton fans. So no, I don't think it is nailed on, but we can go James Garner and Garner Gay.
What do you think on that, Russ? It's come out. I think I've seen it today. Yeah. Decore's come out and said Everton haven't offered me another contract yet. I've got other contracts on the table. He's basically saying if you mess around with me, I've got plenty of options and I'll go somewhere else. And then he's also gone on to say that Everton should be happy that his contract's quite expensive. He should say Everton should pay it straight away because, in fact, I should be asking for more because I've scored some crucial goals for Everton, which is a bit cheeky.
Well, to be honest with you, if a Fulham player did that, I would basically say, get the hell out of here. If I'm being honest, guys. Because I understand what you're saying because we're dealing with that with Pereira. Pereira basically, in December, did an interview with a journalist in Brazil, basically saying that he had offers in France and talked about all the stuff that you really shouldn't be talking about and made it public and talked about, well, the opportunity to play with the Zerbi and all this stuff. And you're thinking, you're a Fulham player. Why are you mentioning this during the season? So that has, as you would say, ruffled some feathers, but really soured Fulham supporters on Pereira. And I can just tell you, I've heard from a source that basically the Man City match will probably be Pereira's last match with Fulham because he won't be back. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, well, Decore. For me personally, Decore knows his contract's quite high. He's got a deal where his contract for us to get him. He's obviously gone. He's going to look after himself. Of course, he's gone big wage, and Everton ain't just going to pay that straight away.
Yeah, but don't go public about that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what he should do is he should put his contract on the table and say, I love Everton. I've loved playing for Everton. I've scored some really crucial goals. I really hope that they sign me. That's all you should do. Really hope that they sign me. And that's it. Decore shouldn't go and say, I think I should be paid more. Because at the end of the day, Decore, we've been a team that's been in 2-3 relegation battles at the bottom of the league, mate. So you shouldn't be demanding a massive wage when we've been at the bottom of the league. Maybe if we're top 4, top 6, you probably, start demanding a big wage, but don't get too excited and start taking the piss. So, Ross, I agree with you. I do think that he should probably close his mouth, put the contract down, and just probably hope that he stays at Everton because I don't think he's going to go to anywhere better than us that suits him. It's going to be interesting. But he could get left out because of that. That's what we're basically saying. So, are we going to put Alcaraz in Decore's position, Paul?
I would love to, yeah. I would love to.
Let's do it. Let's have a little Mardy on Decore. I don't think he'll be happy. But Decore, if you are listening in, mate, keep your mouth shut and you'll be playing next game. You know what I mean?
But same as like other people have been saying in the comments and things as well, is that Decore has scored some important goals. Absolutely. Thank you very much. We couldn't have done without it. It doesn't mean to say that if he wasn't there, those goals wouldn't have been scored by someone else. This is what gets you. I was there, I did it. Well, yeah, if you weren't there, we might have scored more, or we might have done this, or we might have done that.
Well,
It's not
this is
necessarily a
what draws you in,
negative
Paul.
if you weren't there. You know,
This is what
that's
draws you in.
that's space and time. That's a Back to the Future type thing. Decore's working out there, so you know, there's holes and arguments there. I would say.
Well, when you think about it, Decore scores a goal to keep us up. Decore scores a crucial goal when we're low down in the table. But then you think you can reverse it and say, Decore, if you was playing well, you wouldn't have had to score that crucial goal because we'd be in an okay position. Like, you can reverse it and say, if you was doing your job a bit better, you was doing well, you wouldn't have had to score a goal to keep us up because you would have been smashing it and been good. So you can reverse it. The reason that we've had to score goals that have been so crucial for us is because we've been in bad situations because players like Decore and other players haven't been playing well. So, yeah, you can't. If you look into it, you probably see Decore not turn up 2 games and then score a goal and be the hero. And you think to yourself, well, if you were playing all 3 games, you wouldn't need to score a goal. So there is a bigger picture. Of course there is. Left wing, who are we going for? Gilliman.
Well, it should be, shouldn't it? I don't think he's quite. I don't think he's fully fit yet.
He's struggling, isn't he? Yeah, he's struggling. Honest. He's not himself.
I think he has been struggling. The injury against Liverpool was a what's the word? It didn't seem like much. Or not innocuous, yeah. But it seems to have really set him back, and he's not quite had the heights of where he was beforehand. So 1 or 2 people getting a little bit. Well, it doesn't say much, does it, from any fan base, but especially ours, that he's not straight back and doing this, doing that. So I hope he does get back to it. But at the moment, it's either him, McNeil, or Harrison on that left. And I would always have Ndiaye, to be fair. I think the 3 of them can mix. I think the 3 of them could interchange. So you might see Alcaraz on the right-hand side. You might see McNeil in the 10, Ndiaye in the 10, McNeil on the left. I just think it's interchangeable, and that's brilliant to have as well. Because the problem that any team would have is that if they're not scoring, if they're not creating things, then generally it's because there's no sort of fluidity. It's very static. It's very, no one's changing and doing anything that the defense don't expect. So to have 3 players who can interchange is massively valuable, I think. So that's what I would go. I don't know if you say the same thing.
No, I don't mind going McNeil. Harrison, I'm not a fan of, let's just say that. But I wouldn't mind going McNeil and Harrison if it's the case. I don't want to injure Ndiaye for next season because I'm already thinking, don't burn him out for no reason when we've got nothing to play for. I know that sounds stupid, but going into next season, a fully fit Ndiaye, that's because if you're playing him with, if he's got a bit of a knock now and you're forcing him through that could massively mess up his whole of next season. And I feel next season's going to be a big season for us. So be careful. That's all I'm saying. Up front, who are we going for? Calvert-Lewin's back now.
He is. Is he back fully? Moyes said in the press conference today that it was good to have Dominic back on the bench, but he didn't even really want to use him. It was just that we were faltering in that second half, and so he felt as though we needed someone with a little bit more skill on the ball, someone with a better touch, and that's why he brought him on. Whether he would start him, I'd be surprised. Really, I think it'd be Beto and then DCL come on last 20 minutes.
That's Chuck
Beto.
Probably
what will happen.
Let's get Beto in. Russ, before we look at the lineups in the comments,
sure.
What do you think of this team then, mate, that we've come up to? I mean, it wasn't as quick as yours.
No, but it's a team that can, like I said, I think can hurt Fulham. I'm not a big fan of Beto, guys, but, listen, he scored against us.
I really do like him. I love him.
Yeah.
Paul's like you. He's not a fan, Russ. He's not a fan, and I really like him.
Okay.
It's an interesting one because with Beto, he gives 110%. he does these driving runs, which is really good for us because all you've got to do is look for him and find him on these driving runs, and he'll go one-on-one with a centre back and nearly probably score all. So he's got ability, and he's never since Beto come to Everton, he's always been left out. Calvert-Lewin, because he's got the name Calvert-Lewin and the caps of England, he's always been above him. And even now, when Calvert-Lewin's coming back, I'm scared if a Calvert-Lewin comes in straight away. Beto just gets left out, but Beto scored more goals than Calvert-Lewin. Beto's done more than Calvert-Lewin, but because Calvert-Lewin's got the name Calvert-Lewin, he's given more of a chance than Beto's pushed out. So I feel really sorry for Beto. There's talks that Leeds want Beto. You can guarantee if Leeds get better, we'll probably score 10, 15, 20 goals next season. People will laugh, but I could just imagine it because he's one of those guys that will work his absolute arse off and die for your team. And I like those players because
so do I. So do I, Dan.
He's not bad. So I prefer him to Calvert-Lewin. Let's just say that. But
okay.
Calvert-Lewin starts. Go on, Russ. What else?
I was going to say a player that I'm a big fan of is Dwight McNeil. Dwight McNeil is to me that type of player, Dan, that gives you everything that he can give you and is always dangerous. So I always fear Dwight McNeil.
Good player to come back. Very technical. He's just got fit now and he scored last game. And he looks happy. He looks like he's had a lot of time out where he's missed it, Russ, and he's happy to be back. So
he's my type of player. Dwight McNeil's my type of player.
Alcaraz as well. He's been decent, but Moyes hasn't been starting him, which is frustrating. What do you think of him?
Pretty good player. Definitely pretty good player. I what's interesting when you're going from say Deitch to Moyes, like I said, I think Moyes is trying to figure out, just like any manager, who's with him and who shouldn't be with him. So I think he's still trying to figure that out, guys. And I think his team is not this team. His team will be the team he builds next season. So you're going to find out really who are Moyes' players, the ones that are going to be part of next season. You'll look back and say, oh, I can see why he went with those players. But I don't and again, I think this is a feeling out process for this guy. Moyes gets a lot of crap, and I've never understood it because I remember his first time at Everton, and I know he went to Manchester United, and it failed miserably. And then he went a few other places, but I always thought he was a quality manager, and I'm glad he's back with you.
I've got to say, right, with this show, it's been going this season all the way through, and we've got, 3 games left. And I've got to say, we will do some clips of the shows. And we will do some clips, but this not much makes me laugh because I'm a miserable shit. But Lulu said we would need a flux capacitor to have a fully fit DCL, right? So I read that one, and then Danny Ellis is coming and he goes, and this is just going me creasing in my head. I tell you, he goes, Mr. Miyagi couldn't even sort out Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Okay. By the way, I want to thank Lulu because Back to the Future is my favorite movie of all time. So thank you.
Agreed.
Yeah, Paul's on that as well, to be fair. We did get some connection on the channel. That just made me laugh, and I can't stop laughing in my head now because I've got Mr. Miyagi trying to sort Calvert-Lewin out and failing, which Mr. Miyagi never fails. So Calvert-Lewin must be lost there. Russ, what would you get out of them? What do you see? I mean, I mentioned Patterson. The only thing I'm scared of is me right back here. Russ, what do you...
Yeah. To be honest with you, I think that's where if I'm Fulham, I'm attacking down that side. That's our strength, is our left hand side. So if that's your weakness, that's not good for you because right now, like I said, if Jedi is fit, like I said, if Robinson's fit, he can really cause problems with overlaps. And then you got Sessegnon, and then I think that they'll be switching a lot with whoever is the winger on the other side. Listen, Harry Wilson might be part of the mix too. So it's going to be interesting to see what Silva does. But the left-hand side, guys, is for this season traditionally has been Fulham's strength.
I think what we will have to do.
I agree with that.
What we will have to do is not do that. What we will have to do is we will have to probably get McNeil to help. McNeil's quite good defensively to help Patterson out, and then we're going to have to have James Garner on the alert to cut in as well. I think that's what you've got to do. The massive threat down. The fact that I've said your biggest strength is your left-hand side before I even thought about what our right-hand side is like, and then I go and look at our right-hand side, it's weak. I think that's where they get. But then on the other hand, I think that down your right hand side, Iliman and Jai could cause problems.
He could.
On Tete, although Tete does play well against Everton, from what I can remember. So
yeah, listen, Tete actually has been very good this season. He got injured, and he's still coming back from injury. So that's been a little bit of an issue for Fulham because when he was injured, I want to say back, it might have been December, January. Fulham have not been the same without Tete because they brought in Timothy Castagna to take his place. And Castagna has been very good for Fulham. But now we're learning that Castagna's out for the rest of the season. He'd been playing for 4 months with an ankle injury because Fulham did not have anyone behind him because Tete was out. So they forced, obviously, well, I wouldn't say the team forced him, but Castagna took one for the team, and he couldn't do it anymore, and he just had surgery. So, but Tete is a good right back. He's a very good right back. So that's a good battle down there.
Yeah, it will be a good battle. What lineups have we got in the comments then? We'll read the lineups and then we'll go head to head on the score prediction.
Yeah, we've got a few. Doyley, Pickford Young, right back. Mikalenko left back. Branthwaite and O'Brien middle. He's jibbed off James Garner for Alcaraz by the looks of it, with Garner Gay next to him. And then you've got a Ndai left, McNeil right, Decore in the 10, I would guess, with a DCL up front. So that's what Doyley's gone for.
Yeah, I understand. Alcaraz could play in that Garner position. I could see that.
Could be. Easily, yeah. Pause for Pickford. He's gone young as well. Zara O'Brien, Prince Jared, along with Miko on the left-hand side. Au revoir Dukes is in there somewhere. I'm guessing next to King Garner.
Au revoir Dukes, you have to go. Good one.
Super and I on the... All right, as it looks as though we're sort of doing a 2 middle and then 2 in front with Ndai and Alcaraz. So like 2 defensive mids in Dukes and Garner, and then slightly sort of inside left, inside right, Ndai and Charlie with Dirty Tom and Chirpy as 2 strikers.
I like the little digs in that one. I love Dukes because Dukes is a bit large and the Dirty Dom. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we did do 2 strikers. I'd be shocked, in fact. Eltel reckons Pickford, Mick on the left, Patterson on the right, O'Brien and Branthwaite. Looks like McNeil, Decore, and Garner Gay, Alcaraz, Ndai, and Beto. So in some form, that's sort of 5 across. I'd imagine it's McNeil left, Alcaraz right, with Ndai just behind Beto. Let me know if I'm off the mark. But yeah, that's what we've got in terms of lineups.
Right, it is that time, people, where I think you prefer this spot even more. So let's get some. It is score prediction time. This is where we often get on with our guests, the opposition fan, but we go head to head, and the security team have to come in and drag us apart with the score prediction. Now we know how much Russ wants this, and we want it as well. So it's going to be really interesting on what these score predictions are going to be. Get your score predictions in the comments, people. I'm interested to see what you're going to say. Get your goal scorers on as well. We want score prediction and goal scorers. We're going to go Paul first, then we're going to go Russ, and then I'm going to go underneath him if he gives it large and give my score prediction. Let's see what we've got.
Paul, you going first?
Who's first? Who did you say? Did you say me?
Oh, yeah, it's a you.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, he actually did say you, Paul.
Go on, then I will. Well, I tell you what someone pointed out actually before. It might have been LTL pointed out. I think last 14 games, did we see 7 wins, 7 defeats?
Yep.
We've got an enormous amount of draws. 15 draws we've had. Wow. Supposedly, no one's done it. No one's had as many draws in Premier League for a decade. It was Sunderland, the last team who had as many draws as we've got this season. So something's gonna give that.
ready to fire. Draw your gun. We're going to start and turn these draws into goals. I start
Well,
shooting.
I do. To be honest, I do think it's going to be a draw. I just think.
Okay.
I think we won't be. I don't think we'll be overly attacking. I think Fulham have got to go for it, but we got enough firepower to actually make a difference. I think we'll score.
Yep.
But I think they will as. I think they will as well. I think it's going to be 1-1.
Okay.
I think it's going to be 1-1. Either way, more likely we would score first, and they would get one back. But yeah, I think 1-1.
Okay. All right.
Score wise, I'll say Pereira. I was going to say Iwobi, but I'm not that daft. I'll say Pereira for you guys. And for us, I'd probably say McNeil.
Okay.
I'd say McNeil. And I think very even types of teams at this stage of the season, I think.
Yeah. No, totally agree. Okay, so because Fulham desperately need this, obviously I'm going to pick a Fulham victory. I have to do that, but I know it's going to be difficult. And Paul, it could very easily be the result that you just said. The one thing that I will say, and I actually did a show about this, I put on my Patreon page. One of the keys to victory for me was that Fulham have to score the first goal. So if they score the first goal, I think then they're going to be on their way to a victory. I think it's very important in this particular match because of all the pressure that's on Fulham. And right now, they've always played well as the team that does not have the pressure on them, like against Liverpool and Chelsea. That's why going into this, I'm a little bit scared because they're not really, when the pressure's on them, when it's on them, I'm not sure how they're going to react because there's a lot of pressure on this match. But they're at home. The crowd's going to be behind them. So I'm going to say they're going to score that early goal, and they're going to go on for a 2-1 victory. I'm going to predict a 2-1 victory because they don't do clean sheets. Dwight McNeil's going to score for Everton, and Alex Iwobi's going to score a brace. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding about the Iwobi thing. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding about the Iwobi thing. No. In all seriousness, I think it's going to be Ryan Sessegnon and Raul Jimenez. That's who I'll go with the goal scorers. I won't say Iwobi's going to score. I'm not going to go there.
He did last time when you said he was going to score. You said he was going to score last time, and he did. That was just lucky.
By the way, people were asking where I'm from. I'm actually from Boston, Massachusetts, in the U.S.
Yeah, what a guest we've got on here. Honestly, people, he's a cracker. Right, so my score prediction. I've just been thinking while you've been saying it. It's specific, so listen, people, right? I think the score is going to be 4-2. Now I've set myself up for goal scorers, but I've been thinking of it whilst Russ has been speaking, so don't worry, I'll tell you how it's going to go. Right?
Okay.
4-2. So the way it's going to go is we're going to go 2-0 up. Beto's going to score the first goal.
Okay.
Alcaraz is going to score the second. Then Jimenez is going to score to make it 2-1. Then we score McNeil to make it 3-1, and then you get a consolation goal to make it 4-2. Have I got that right? So
no, you didn't get that right.
That again.
No, Paul, he screwed that up.
What happened?
You know what you said? The problem is it is 4-2 in my head. So so it's 2-1, and then it goes 3-1. 4-1. So we're going to go 4-1, 4-2. I didn't add it after 3-1. I didn't add it up.
After 3-1, Iwobi scores, right?
No. I've got the goal scores in my head here, Russ. Right, 4-2. I shouldn't have said the order because it confused me. Everton confused me. Right. So basically, Jimenez is going to be one of your goal scorers, and the other goal scorer for you is Smith Rowe. I had in my head. Right.
Okay.
So 2-1, 3-1.
4-2.
Yeah, 4-2. Yeah, right. So Smith Rowe, Jimenez, your two goal scorers.
Okay.
Ours is going to go Beto, as I've already said. McNeil, Alcaraz, and I'm going to give it Branthwaite or Joe O'Brien. Who wants it? Who wants it more? I'm going to give it to Branthwaite. Yeah, he ain't scored in a while. I'm going to give a centre back one. So there's my goal scorers. Yeah, Beto, McNeil, Alcaraz, and Brantwaite 40. I know you're going to go for it. I know you're going to score goals, and
Yeah.
I think we're going to go for it as well.
Okay.
I want to see us go. I want to see us be happy. Come on, let's go for it, Everton. And do you know what the worst thing is? And I just want to point this out. I actually love Russ. I really do. And every time he goes live, I like his Fulham podcast. He's a great speaker.
Thank you.
I would love to see Fulham get you where you want to finish, but I don't want Everton to lose. We would never. What would you do in the other way around? You would want Fulham to beat us if we could get Finger, wouldn't you?
Of course, but if the roles were reversed, Dan, I would feel the same way that you're saying right now. I would, if Fulham were not involved and Everton were going for it, I would certainly want Everton to get into Europe, but not at the expense of my club. So I get that.
Yeah.
I think whether you've got nothing to play for or something to play for, I always feel that when you put that top on and wear that badge, you should give everything, because you what we would do to play for our football club. Do you know what I mean? What we would, So I always think that when you get that opportunity, every game, whether it means nothing, even if it's a friendly, I want us to play our absolute best. And I'm looking for next season, so I want some players to shine now and show me that you can be decent next season. What have we got in the comments, Paul?
We've got lots. We've got lots and lots.
That's what I like to hear. Hit that like and subscribe, people. If you can chuck a comment in, you can hit that like and subscribe. Please do so.
Lots of people going for a draw, to be honest. David's in, draw all over it. Tazul reckons 0-0. Just move past all the lineups.
A lot of respect for Fulham, then, Paul.
Sorry?
A lot of respect for Fulham here. We're drawing.
Yeah. I don't think, there's some teams that we play where there is obviously a lot of need, or there's a little bit of previous between the sides, but Fulham's not one of those got massive beef with, to be honest. We've been on the end of a few results after winning for years and years and years and years and not losing at Goodison to suddenly being turned over every time. We've still not got massive beef with Fulham. So Eltel reckons a 4-1. He did a bit of a Eugene, Beto hat-trick, and then McNeil. James has gone for a 3-1. And Rod was in. His lad's saying 2-1 Ndai and DCL. It doesn't know any Fulham players. Oh, that's experience.
It's okay.
That's fine. Danny reckons 1-0 for us. Eugene is in with his 4-1.
That's 5-1 last time. Back to 4-1.
As he says.
Okay.
Pause has gone specific, so he's gone 2-2. Smith Rowe and Sessegnon and Die, and yes, it's got to happen sometime. A Pickford penalty.
A Pickford penalty. Wow.
I want to say this, Paul, and I want to say this to you as well, Russell, because I had this conversation with my partner on the sofa yesterday, and I want Everton, and I know this is never going to happen. She goes, it just wouldn't happen. We've got Newcastle last game, and the rivalry between Pickford and Newcastle. I want Everton to just say Pickford can play up front for the first half. Just let him play up front. Just let him play up front. That would be the best thing. That would make my season. Just against Newcastle, just let Pickford play up front.
That's not going to happen, but I would love to see that too.
Yeah, I'm gonna message Begovic. Put Begovic in goals for the first half. Let Pickford play up front, and then all of a sudden Pickford can go back in goals second half. It'll be shattered.
By the way, I'm so glad that Asmir did your show. Asmir's a great guy, and I'm just so glad he did your show.
Yeah,
he's absolutely incredible.
His camps and everything are going well as well. So we've sort of kept in touch and message and stuff like that. So it's good. He's a top man. I hope he does stay, because obviously there'll be some changes. But he's I think he's a top level keeper anyway. So he could do a job as first place. But ideally for us, a backup for Jordan. He's
I will. Yeah, I will tell you one place that he won't be going. He will not be going to Burnley. And I'll just leave it at that. And I can share that with you guys offline. But he won't be going to Burnley.
Good.
He's done really well with his coaching stuff with Everton as well, so that's worked out well. He's got a lot of football left in him. You can tell he's still a very good goalkeeper, but I know that he's setting himself up with his goalkeeping gloves and and his academies and stuff. He's setting himself up to go into that sort of thing, I think, and he's great with it. So yeah, what a man!
We've got a few others. Rod went 2-0, 2 for Beto. Doyley went a 2-2 as well. DCL and Dye, Smith Rowe, Jimenez.
Did Lulu give a prediction? Did Lulu give a prediction?
I'll get to it. Hang on, she might have. I'll catch up. Where are we? They were the ones that I saved. Paul says, I've got nothing against Fulham. I got to meet Kevin Keegan. Oh, yeah. Next manager back in the day. Oh, God. Yeah. Pickford at centre forward, Keno at 10.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, Danny reckons. Yeah, 19 minutes corner, Pickford header 1-0. I'd like to see Pickford on free kicks. I think he's got a better chance than some of them, to be honest.
Game taking.
Well, Lulu's got some Begovic suggestions. Says he's going abroad because his missus has got a new dressage horse. They're the rumours. Scar reckons 1-0. And Wolby scores both goals.
Okay, Dan, you know if a Iwobi scores, you're going to be hearing from me right away. You know that.
Yeah.
Do you know what, though? I honestly don't believe Iwobi could play good against us twice. So I think Iwobi's going to get torn a new arse. And the reason, and this is where it gets nasty, the reason I put Njai and Iwobi on the cover is because Iwobi left us and we got good money for him. And we've got Njai, who I think is 20 times better than Iwobi. Okay. So I hope Iwobi comes up against Njai and Iwobi ends up on his arse, right? And a lot of Everton fans still love Iwobi and they still say, oh, I love it. But I don't think Iwobi was that good for us. And I think he is good for you.
Yeah, he's been good for us.
I'm ready to rip him up, Russ. I'm ready for Iwobi tomorrow. I'll have my eyes on him and I'm ready for him to have a really bad game. But I know what can come, and I know that Russ will be waiting to be in my DMs, people, if he has a good game. Don't worry.
Oh, hands down. Yep.
Yeah.
Did you see what Eugene said, Dan? Did you see what Eugene said?
I think Alex Iwobi will come back to Evan again.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't want that to happen. If Iwobi comes back to Everton,
I think your head will explode.
Fulham. I will support Fulham instead of Everton. I tell you.
Wow.
Wow.
I couldn't not support Everton.
But that's all the predictions. But just before we do wrap things up,
Paul, I've got something, haven't I?
Paul, have you got something?
Yeah, I forgot. I meant to put this on at the start of the show, and this is the end of the show, people. By the way, so don't think it's going to go on another 20 hours.
Well, can I just throw in? Just before you do that, can I just throw in what Paul has been having a conversation in the comment?
I can't find what I'm
I mean, it's all rumor and everything else, isn't it? But Kevin Campbell's son, is it Tyrese? Might have that wrong. I live next to a Sheffield United season ticket holder. He said the feeling around the club is they're bracing for us to make a move for young Mr. Campbell. Apparently, we're going to offer him his dad's number. I think it's probably misty-eyed kind of talk, but you never know. We'll see. Might be a little bit early. Danny reckons give him another year, see how it goes. Yeah.
Super Kev.
I think it's
more interesting. He has played well, but him coming to Everton with what our fans can be like on strikers, it could make or break him. He wouldn't get it easy, that's for sure, if he did come to Everton. But it'd be interesting to see how that unfolds. I have got one thing that I was going to chuck on the screen, and I meant to have done it at the start of the show. What do you think, people? What's your thoughts? What do you think, Russ? It's like a Leaving Goodison Park top that's come out today.
Wow, that's really nice.
Old school badge.
Yeah, I like that.
Colours. A lot of people wanted it royal blue. One come out like this a bit back. It was royal blue and everyone loved it. What do you think about it being baby blue, Paul? You got a problem with that, or is that not?
No, it's I don't mind a bit of history.
That's nice, though. Seriously, I like that.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, no matter what the cost is, unless it's free, people are going to be annoyed about it somehow. The deal, because it says £120, doesn't it, when you go on?
With the scarf. And
the £120 is a scarf. The programme from the last game at Goodison, and one or two other bits as well as the shirt. I think Danny says it's £60, the polo shirt itself. And yeah, do you know what I mean? We did play in that colour at one point, so I get it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, if you know your history, we did play in baby blue. It goes way, way back to see that. But I think it's really. You can't see it on there. Probably it's pinstripes as well, which I think's it's one of them. I like just the badge. That's what I asked for. Just the badge. It's a badge we all love, and I think it's smart. And I've got the other one. The other one's really loud with loads of pictures of Goodison Park on it. I think that's more of a put in a frame one. This one I think is really smart. I really do like that. I like the badge.
There is one. There's one when we had Rooney, which is similar to that without the pinstripe, which is
navy blue,
which is the royal blue with that badge. So if you're put off by the colour, but you wanted something similar, that may be something you could look out for.
Yes, I did want to chuck that on. Russ, you have been cracking having on the show. I really enjoy having you on, to be fair, mate. Cracking talker. People love you. A lot of people in the comments like you when we get you back on. We'll have you on again next season. Russ, give yourself a plug, mate. Where can they find you?
Sure. So you can find me on X, Russ_Goldman, and also on Cottage Talk. And check out the show on YouTube at Cottage Talk. I've been trying hard to get the likes. I don't have that many, guys. I'm still trying to get to 800. So any one of the Everton supporters that just want to subscribe, please do. And then you can listen to the show wherever you listen to your podcast.
Yeah, cool. I have put some of the links in the description. So Russ is obviously, some of his names will be in the description. Look him up and get behind him and get him to that 1,000. It is really hard to push these channels.
Yeah.
So, like he said, even if you go and you don't want to listen to Fulham all the time, just go on and hit that subscribe and never go on it again. And get him the subscribers, push it up, because we all like to have the subscribers and the views. It's hard. It's a hard game. So get behind him. Going over. It's in the description. Go over and give him the likes and the subscribes. Right, that is the end of the show, people. Thanks everyone for joining in. It's been cracking as always. There's been so many comments, and that's what we look at because we want to bring Everton fans together, and we have done. This is the end of the show, people. It gets you excited, doesn't it, for the game tomorrow? Rush, you've got a lot at stake tomorrow, aren't you? You're not going to sleep tonight, are you?
I'm going to have a hard time sleeping because I know how important it is to my clubs and how much it's important to me. So I'll leave you guys with this. Best of luck, because I always will say that. And I love being on the show with you guys. And I look forward to doing this with you next season.
Yeah. We'll both there. We'll be there again.
Been an absolute cracking guest. People, that is it. We will be back straight after the game. Whether we win or lose, we always face the music. Hopefully we win, but it's a very hard game. See you all soon, people. Have a boss one. And tomorrow, straight after the game.